which we can, interact considering the COVID times. Though the cases have, fallen to a very great level and things have started to open up, but I'll always recommend everyone to take all due precautions, whatever necessary, be it wearing masks or frequently sanitizing your hands, because our health is in our own hands, right? So yes, I would keep saying that please keep using this chat box. And once again, I welcome you all in this first session of our live webinar series on unfolding the future of CA practice, adapting to automation, presented by Optotax. Hope you all are doing well. Though it's still we have 5 minutes and we are waiting for our friends to join in, because we have professionals across India, and at Optotax we believe that empowerment happens when we all stand united at one single platform and work towards the empowerment, towards growth. And that is the reason why we wait for all our professionals to join in and start the session. And the point is, the more you'll discuss, the more you will ask your queries, your questions, the more you will get into what is happening, right? So please keep using this chat box. Okay, many people have joined in, many will be joining in. So very good evening. Participants. So, considering that today's session is on interpreting cryptocurrency in India. So, cryptocurrency, the word cryptocurrency or blockchain have become the talk of the town, right? People have, started investing in cryptocurrency. Many think that that cryptocurrency should they are against cryptocurrency, and there are people who are in favor of cryptocurrency. So we will get to know why, what is exactly the impact of cryptocurrency in India, the digital rupee and its impact on Indian economy, legality, what is the legality of cryptocurrency in India, and proposed income tax implications in today's session by yeah. So people have started joining. Good evening, Sharad ji. Good evening, Ravina ji. Sharad ji are one of our the oldest, I would say, faculty that have not faculty, the participant I have been, seeing. He kind of attends every session, most probably. So, hello, Abhishek ji. Good evening. Hope you all are doing well, right? So, as I was saying, so today's faculty is very young and energetic person, and a good friend of mine as well. So he has been, he's CA Rohit Golani. He's pursuing CFA, and he has years of experience in taxation and finance. If you visit his, LinkedIn, you will get to know that he talks regularly and posts regularly about crypto, blockchain, and share market. So even if I have to ask certain questions about where to invest, what not to invest, Rohit is, my go-to person. So I have shared the link of his LinkedIn profile. Do visit his profile and do connect with him, and you'll get to know a lot about cryptocurrency and share market, because I believe that with the changing times, you should also get knowledge about all these terms which have become talk of the town, right? So without taking much time, I would give this dais to Rohit to tell us about today's session. Over to you, Rohit.
So, thank you so much, Tanya, first of all, for this warm introduction. So much good about me, I even did not knew. So thank you so much for that. And as rightly mentioned by Tanya, that cryptos are the future. Like we say that blockchain technology is the internet for tomorrow. So, and cryptocurrencies are future of currency. So I believe personally that instead of waiting for its evolution, let's be the first movers, right? And take the advantage of it. So On this belief, we have set up today's session, and it will be very much interesting. I hope I have worked on it to make it so much interactive, so much of questions I'll be asking you. So let's see what happens, but I promise that I'll justify myself to the 100% so that you get to understand technology a bit. So let's move ahead. Let me first try to share my screen and see if it is visible. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible, right? You can go ahead.
Okay. So as we have gathered here for this day one of unfolding the future of CA practice and adapting to automation, and some of the points considered here will be we'll be discussing about digital rupee, legality of cryptocurrency, and obviously taxation which is proposed. So before going into these topics, I need to set up some of the base so that you know about the technology and how did we come to this digital era, right? So all this is necessary before we move ahead. So this has been presentation has been designed in a way that you get an idea prior to begin with. So let's have a bird eye view of how it's going to move. Just a second. Yes. So here's an agenda. We'll be looking at what we are going to discuss. Here's this history of money. First of all, we'll be knowing how did we come to this stage where we are talking about these cryptocurrencies and everything, and then concerns of RBI, will be discussing some of them, and then introduction to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we'll be discussing about them as well. Then centralized versus decentralized currency, will be comparing these. I know you must not be understanding what these mean now, but if the erstwhile points have been discussed, so I believe that you'll be having a good understanding of what centralized and decentralized currencies are, and then we'll be discussing their differences. Okay, so the fourth pointer is a brief about blockchain technology, and obviously I know that it has to be discussed in the next session and what are its use cases and implications, but to set a base for CBDC, I'll give a brief about a blockchain technology, so that will be swiftly reviewed and it will definitely help you. And then introduction to central bank digital currency will be, this is what we have gathered here for introduction of central bank digital currency, its impact on Indian economy. What I see is its impact will be actually visible and tangible whenever it's rolled out actually. So the system will tell what are its impact on economy, but whatever I see from here standing today, that will be discussed. I'll try to discuss जो अभी दिख रहा है यहाँ से कि क्या क्या इम्पैक्ट हो सकते हैं इंडियन इकोनॉमी पे. एंड नाउ कंट्रीज लीडिंग द रेस ऑफ सीबीडीसी, जो कंट्रीज ने ऑलरेडी सीबीडीसी इंप्लीमेंट किया है और दे आर रनिंग अ पायलट वर्जन, विल बी लुकिंग इनटू देम. एंड देन मूविंग अहेड, प्रपोज इनकम टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस ऑन क्रिप्टो करेंसी. फिर हम देखेंगे कि इनकम टैक्स के क्या इम्प्लीकेशंस हैं क्रिप्टो करेंसीज पे. उसके बाद टू कंक्लूड विद विल सी द legality of cryptocurrency in India. So this is our session. I'll try to wind it up in or 60 to 70 minutes. So please stay with me. A lot of things to be discussed, and I hope you'll be getting a little bit of understanding. So to begin with, not a very fancy way to start a presentation, but this is how it goes. My first question to all of you is, what gives the money in your wallet or bank account the value it has? I'll try to reframe it. The 100 rupee or a 50 rupee note in your wallet, you tell me that it's 100 rupee or 50 rupees, but I say it's just a piece of paper. How do you prove me wrong? I suppose some of you must be having an answer to it. Yes, Ganesh ji has come up with the answer. Okay, no, not any answer yet. So I'm expecting some of the answers. My question is, why the money in your wallet or a bank account has the value you think it has? Print of gold reserves, signatures of RBI, foreign currency reserves, was RBI said. So yes, there are so many answers coming, and I appreciate all of them. But the correct answer is yes, because they are backed by RBI, the Central Bank of India. It has been said by a central bank that yes, the currency in your wallet or bank account is worth what it's printed on it. Yes, it has been promised. So how did we come to this era where we are not ready to trust a single thing which is said by a government, to trusting such a big thing that they are telling the thousands and crores rupees in your bank account are worth the value but they are just piece of papers or in just ledger format. How do we trust it? How did we gain that trust? To understand this, let's get into the history of money. It's a legal tender, obviously. Thank you so much. It's a legal tender and promised by RBI. So many good participants here. Okay, let's dive into the history of money first of all. Okay, so हमेशा से ही मनी को एक वैल्यू के रूप में तोला गया है. Money has its value. Money equals to value, and this value has taken many forms in history. Like some odd 100 to 150 years back, people used to trade with such a thing which has its intrinsic value, like gold bars. Gold bars is one of the examples which people used to trade, because supposedly you give me a service of 1,000 rupees and in exchange I give you gold bar for 1,000 rupees. Gold bar might not be fetching that value. So just take an example, because why so? Because gold itself had its intrinsic value, right? So it was a fair enough deal. You provide me a service and I pay you gold worth that money. Okay, so why did people choose it? Because it stays valuable long enough for them to redeem that value in the future, right? Then let's see the transition. But there were some of the problems associated with gold. What were these problems? The storage problem, the mobility problem, and obviously for little and very small transactions, like अगर मुझे 10 रुपए की कोई चीज खरीदनी है तो I won't be carrying pieces of gold with me, right? So government came with an idea and it intervened. It said, okay, so let's make an platform where you deposit gold with us and against that I give you the receipts, bills. आप जैसे आप सब हल्दीराम्स पे गए होंगे, राइट? हल्दीराम्स पे गए हैं तो हम वहां पे काउंटर पे कैश देते हैं, अगेंस्ट दैट दे गिव अस सम टोकन. The token does not have its value, but the underlying cash which we give had the value, right? So in a similar fashion, government intervened and said, okay, let's do one thing. We'll give you bills and we'll be printing it and we'll be promising the underlying asset, that is gold, which you are keeping with us, will be having that value. And then came the introduction of paper currency for the first time. And what purpose did paper currency solve? Were the problems which were with gold, because people found it too cumbersome to walk around carrying gold bars, right? So this was the introduction and solution to the problem with carrying gold and other valuable items, right? But then we evolved further. Then was the introduction of fiat currency. Okay, now before beginning with the introduction of fiat currency, I'll really appreciate if any one of you can come up with the answer, what actually is fiat currency? We have understood what paper currency was and there was an underlying asset, but what is fiat currency? Can I have answers, please? Okay, accepted by everyone, says Ganeshji. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to participate? Backed by foreign reserves. Okay, another answer from Pranavji. I like more participation. That will be much more appreciable if I get to see some new names rather than old names repeating, because it's a very yes, Rishabh is saying it's a legal tender determined by authority. Somewhat right. A fiat currency is a currency where there is no underlying asset. Like in the previous era, paper currency, there was an underlying gold. But here in this fiat currency, there is no underlying asset, but just a promise by government. As you all told me, the value of money in your wallet is it's worth its value because it is promised by government, and that money is called fiat currency. So let's see. There is no actual commodity backing the paper money. Value actually comes from a legal status given to it by central authority, and in our case, it is Reserve Bank of India, RBI, right? So this has been promised. Government promised us ki don't worry. Instead of trusting something that is gold, trust us, that is someone. So this was in transition. I can say we started trusting something rather than started trusting someone rather than trusting something. So this was a huge transition where fiat currency came and there was no underlying asset to it, but just a promise by government. It was a good move, right? And now the other thing that comes is digital money. You all know what digital money is. The money lying in your bank account is obviously digital money, right? So it's nothing but a ledger maintained by central authority, that is RBI, central bank. It maintains the ledger account which tells who owns what. It's nothing more than that. Do you agree? So let's see. Bank keeps a ledger on computer which keeps track of who owns what. Everyone has an account and ledger keeps a tally for each account. This is fair enough. You have you have balance in your bank account, and that is digital money. So we have fairly understood how we have evolved from carrying gold bars and other valuable things to digital money. So this was the base which we had to set up. And now comes the main question, which has been asked many a times. Why does government have this cryptophobia, right? So this has to be asked. Why is government opposing the cryptocurrency? If I can get some answers. Why is government accepting having cryptophobia? Why does it want to avoid cryptocurrencies? Some issue, just a second. Yes, these are not regularized. Okay, fear of money laundering, that's very nice. Any other answers? Himesh, thank you so much for answering. Not under their control. Obviously, I cannot agree more with your conclusion that they are not there under their control. So congratulations for such a great answer and such a deep understanding about cryptocurrencies. Government will lose control because it works in decentralized manner. Obviously, thank you so much, Deepti Aroraji. That was very finely told. Money laundering and terrorism increasing. That's also one of the reasons that money laundering has been at its peak due to because the Bitcoin which was introduced was firstly before being used for investment and other purposes was used for terror funding and everything. So this is the concern of RBI. But here we are going to discuss some other reasons why government fears cryptocurrencies. So these are some of the concerns. Let's see them. Fiat money, we all know, I believe, what fiat money is. Fiat money is controlled in a centralized environment. What is centralized environment? That is, only banks have access to who owns what. This is clear. Your digital money can be accessed only by a central authority, that is bank. Okay, so it has that ledger account maintained, and it has only the authority to sneak a peek of what balances do you own in your account. So this is fair enough. Let's see other reasons. RBI basically controls the flow of value of fiat money, which gives them utmost unlimited power. So RBI is the only authority which can regulate the flow of value of fiat money, right? So to at a macroeconomic level, to control inflation and to bring back the economy on track from, like we saw in the blues of Corona, there was a recession going on and government circulated the flow of money in such a manner that India came out of Corona hard times financially. So this was done by RBI only because it has all the authority to control the flow of money. RBI at any point of time can decide to freeze your account and did not allow you the access of your own funds. So this power is also enjoyed by central government. हमने ये बहुत देखा भी है in cases of some fraud or scam being occurring, the accounts of the scammer or the person concerned are being freezed by the department and they are not being allowed to access their own funds. And this is all happening because the current fiat money is in a centralized environment. Only central government has the authority of your money, right? Even if you use only cold hard cash, the government can cancel the legal status of your currency. The legal status of your currency can also be cancelled if you are holding cold hard cash, as we saw back in 2016, where 1,000 rupee note and 500 rupee note in your pockets were scrapped in a minute, right? Demonetization. So these all powers are enjoyed by RBI as of now, because money, on the risk of being repetitive, I'll tell you, because money is in a centralized mode, right? So when you are thinking of decentralizing a currency like Bitcoin, you are virtually taking away all the power from RBI. So if you're not getting my point, let me try to explain it in your terms only. जैसे हम लोग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स है, right? And being a chartered accountant, हम ये मानते हैं कि इनकम टैक्स ऑडिट पे सिर्फ हमारा अधिकार है क्योंकि हमारे साइन की वैलिडिटी है. पर if you hypothetically assuming, if you wake up any other day and you realize that government has dedicated this power not only with CA but CS and other tax professionals as well, so you might get hurt. Why? Because they are taking away one of the precious thing from you. This is what government is facing because of the introduction of these decentralized currencies. उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि उनकी power उनके पास से जा रही है, right? So this is how bad they are hit because of decentralized currencies. So I hope everything is quite clear till now. Moving ahead. what is the problem with centralized currency? Don't worry, there's not a question after every slide, but whatever the important questions were there, I have drafted in such a way. So my question again to you is, what are the problems with centralized currency? Can you please tell me what are the problems with centralized currencies? Government is, and we in the current environment are holding money in the centralized manner, right? So my question to all of you is, what is the problem? Why do you want to shift from centralized to decentralized, right? So this is my question. Hackers have access to everything once. Very nice. Rishabh has very nicely told. Government can track the trail of money. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Himesh. Thank you so much. Himesh has tried to answer and he's close to it. There are so many of the problems because we trust banks, right? We trust financial institutions, and on the other hand, they trust their system, their ledgers, right? So my question is, although they have built a very robust system, but everything lies on a centralized manner. So can't it be hacked? This is my question to all of you. Yes, it can be hacked. And can't ledgers be altered? Yes, they can be altered, and it has happened in history, not in India, but in other countries, it has happened. Ledgers have been altered. So this is one of the risks associated with this. So this is the thing. Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency was proposed as a solution to all the problems of centralized currencies. So centralized currency के साथ जो भी associated problems थी ना, उन सब के solution के लिए Bitcoin को propose किया गया. He said that there is no need for a central authority to check who is owning, because there's also a concern of privacy, because my data is with central government. So it's my data, and it's not their right to access my private data. मेरे data पे सिर्फ मेरा अधिकार होना चाहिए. So this was compromised, and also it was prone to hacking because everything is centralized. So once it gets hacked, everything will be like, it will be a bizarre. So obviously you're getting my point, right? And then our next topic is introduction to cryptocurrency, Bitcoins. It came in 2008, and the definition of money changed forever from that time. So let's see what happened. Actually, a document was published online by a guy calling himself Satoshi Nakamoto. This was a person, actually he's an anonymous person. No one knows who is the face behind this name. So he proposed, what he told, he published a white paper suggesting a way of creating a system for decentralized currency called cryptocurrency. Can anyone tell me what actually is white paper? In cases of cryptocurrencies, if any one of you are dealing, you must be knowing what actually are white papers. Can I have some answers, please? What is white paper? Document released by developers. Very right. Rishabh ji is very right. These are the documents released by the developers. Whenever currency comes into play, there's a white paper attached to it, and which tells the use case of it, where this will be used, and what is the technology behind, and everything. How is it developed, and everything is told in that white paper. So Satoshi Nakamoto bought this white paper for creating this robust system. This system claimed to create digital money without the need of central authority. He said that this will be the money used by each and everyone. There's no need for a central authority to intervene. Its core, Bitcoin, is a transparent ledger without a central authority. So let's see what is the definition. Cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange. So cryptocurrency as a digital asset, Bitcoin was proposed an asset to be a medium of exchange. Okay, because it was introduced as a substitute of money, so it was supposed to be a medium of exchange using cryptography. What is cryptography? As we all know, that transactions might be prone to some of the attacks, right? Hacking and everything. So that this security is not compromised. So there was an insertion of a feature, cryptography, which ensures the smooth and integrated transfer of money, right? To secure the transaction and to control the creation of additional units of currency, right? So this was the digital currency, right? So my question is, if my currency is in a digital form, in a file manner, so what prevents me to copy it and make thousands of currencies, right? So this was also introduced in Bitcoin, which said that there will be a check that you cannot multiply your currency, And also this will be a check on inflation in economy as well, right? Because we cannot flood our economy with so much of money, because it will gradually resulting in the reduction in purchase power of our money, right? So inflation was also checked, and to ensure the smooth and seamless and integrated transfer of currency was also checked. So all these problems which centralized currency had were proposed to be vanished in decentralized currency. Okay, so here we are dealing with some of the differences between centralized and decentralized currencies. So before moving ahead, I just want to know if everything is clear to everyone and there is no doubt in their mind what actually is centralized currency and what is decentralized currency. If you have any questions, we can take it upfront before going into some of the differences. So yes, please. Any of the questions? I'll wait for 30 seconds and then I'll assume that I am going very fantastically and you people are understanding each and every parcel of my word, right? So I won't wait much. If there are any doubts, please bring it up, because we are going to discuss a very important topic. Okay, moving ahead. There are some of the differences which I felt were necessary. There can be more differences, but let's begin with these. Type. Centralized currency, as you see, it is a fiat currency. We have a fiat currency and it happens to be in cash mode as well, so it isn't real. While decentralized currency, on the other hand, is totally virtual. Its nature was such that it happened to be virtual and there is no tangible thing associated with it in any manner, right? Intermediaries. So this is one of the most important feature with decentralized currency. When we transact online with our current banking system, there are so many intermediaries involved. Like I want to transfer money from my bank account to your bank account. So if I want to transfer it through a card payment, so there will be intermediaries like Visas, Masterpays. If I want to pay through POS machines, then there will be intermediaries like Pine Labs, Paytm. If I want to go through the UPI system, then there will be intermediaries like Google Pay, Phone Pay, and which will be definitely controlled in environment by the National Payment Corporations of India. But when we talk about decentralized currency, it's a peer-to-peer network directly from my ledger to your wallet. No intermediaries between. So this is one of the huge changes which we can see in decentralized currency, right? Acceptance. Your rupee in your pocket can be accepted only to the boundaries of India. Okay, can go ahead with Nepal and Bhutan, some of the countries like this, but not more than that. While on the other hand, decentralized currency, it works on a blockchain technology, and blockchain technology is acceptable throughout the globe. Considering the example of Bitcoin's blockchain technology is it has its members and peers and nodes all over the globe. So Bitcoin can be exchanged throughout the globe. It's acceptable. So isn't it very fantastic that the international transactions can happen through cryptocurrencies? So yes, this is one of the major and big thing. Security. As we all know that hard cash is prone to being theft and burglary, everything. So it is moderately secured. And also some of the hacking can also be done on online manner and everything. So it's moderately secured. But on the other hand, decentralized currency is made in such a manner that it is highly secured, right? It's highly secured because to alter anything in the ledger, there needs to be a change at many places. We'll get back to it later, but it's highly secured. And sovereign. Does centralized currency is backed by a government? Yes, sovereign. The currency which you currently have, that is fiat currency, has backing of government. It's already been discussed. But decentralized currency, on the other hand, works basically on the concept of demand and supply. Whatever the value it has, it is working on the demand and supply rule. So this is one of the major setback with the decentralized currency. That's why so much of fluctuation happening in it. Other thing, durability. So the fiat currency might be prone to being broken into pieces, or might be prone to fire or anything. So it's moderately durable, but decentralized currency is highly durable because there is no tangible thing involved in it. Totally it is in the virtual environment, so it is highly secured. And portability, so I don't think there's any doubt. Portability, yes, centralized currency is also portable. We can carry it, but depends on the quantity of cash you are carrying. Obviously in digital mode, it's at par with decentralized currency, but whenever you are talking about fiat and hard cash, then decentralized currency is highly and much more portable than centralized currency, right? So I hope some of the differences which I have mentioned are clear to all of you. Moving ahead, a brief about blockchain technology. As I already mentioned, this will be discussed in next session in detail, but a brief is very important, and I hope you'll be getting a fair idea about the blockchain technology in brief. So let's move ahead. Blockchain technology is a new and innovative way of implementation of decentralization. Look, we have already discussed about the currency, right? But the underlying technology also has to be known. What is the underlying technology? So blockchain technology is a new and innovative way of implementing decentralization. Why cryptocurrency is decentralized? Because of the underlying technology. Its whole nature is decentralized. We'll see how. It's a system of keeping records by everybody. I quote, everybody, without any need of a central authority. So let me try to explain it to you. In current currency system, records are kept only by central authorities, right? Central government, RBI in our case. But in blockchain technology, as I've already mentioned, nodes or members are scattered around the globe, and each and every person is having the ledger. And whenever any transaction enters into a blockchain technology, every person in the blockchain has to alter his ledger to see who owns what, right? So there is a record of transaction in each and every ledger. That's why it is hack proof, because if someone has to change the ledger, it has to change everywhere in every person's bank ledger. So that's why it's very difficult to be hacked. Blockchain technology is decentralized in such a manner that it's very, very difficult to be hacked. But we'll also talk about the privacy concerns and everything. Okay, so there are 4 pillars of blockchain technology. Peer-to-peer network. So blockchain technology works on a peer-to-peer basis. Peer-to-peer is that there is no central authority involved and every member has the equal privileges. It's open to everyone and everybody, right? So it's peer-to-peer. Cryptography. The second pillar is because of first pillar. As you all know that there are so many participants involved in blockchain technology, right? So cryptography ensures that there are so many people involved, so it is the channel of communication is very secure. There is no hostile environment present in it. So cryptography ensures that transactions completes with a secured mode, right? So cryptography ensures that. Consensus algorithm. These are nothing but rules. As you all know that cryptography has so many participants around the globe, right? And they are indulged in transaction verification and everything. So what's important is कि they have to follow some rule. कोई तो rule follow करना पड़ेगा ना, वरना इतने सारे लोग एक टेक्नोलॉजी में अगर इन्वॉल्व हैं और सब अपने अपने तरीके से काम करेंगे तो टेक्नोलॉजी cannot happen, right? So there are some rules in every blockchain which everyone has to follow. And the fourth and important pillar is reward. So हमने blockchain technology के बारे में इतना सब समझा कि बहुत सारे लोग around the globe are part of blockchain technology and everything is happening in manner as discussed. But my question is, why should I be a member of blockchain technology? Can I become a member of blockchain technology? Yes, I can be a member of a public blockchain, and you can also be a member of public blockchain. You can just download the software and run systems, and you can become the part of blockchain, right? So my question is, I can do that, but why will I do? What is the need? I'll have to expend my money on purchasing system, and then I'll have to invest my time. Why is everyone doing this? Everyone is doing this because of the reward. For transaction verification, which is entering into the blockchain technology, there has to be some reward, and the person who verifies the transaction or adds the new block to the chain is rewarded with some coins of the. In considering the example of Bitcoin, if someone verifies a transaction which happens to be in Bitcoin blockchain, so he'll be rewarded with 6.25 Bitcoins currently. Okay, so this is how blockchain technology is functioning. So just a second. Okay, moving ahead. How does a transaction enters into blockchain technology? So let me take your 5 minutes and tell you what happens when a transaction enters into a blockchain technology and when the transaction gets completed. It has some points. The first point being, if I am a person who is a sender, right? I want to send some Bitcoins to you. Considering I'm sending 1 Bitcoin to you, what I'll do is I'll write a transaction I'll go into my wallet and send 1 Bitcoin to your address. What will I do? I'll send 1 Bitcoin to your address. So what basically I'm doing is I'm writing a transaction and I'm signing it with my digital currency, digital signatures. What I'm doing is I'm securing it, because the only access will be with the receiver of the money, right? So मेरा पैसा जिसके पास जा रहा है, he will be only able to access, क्योंकि मैं उसको अपनी प्राइवेट की से लॉक कर रहा हूं, तो कोई और उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर सकता, राइट? सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ सेंडिंग मनी. द सेकंड पॉइंट बीइंग, जैसे कोई भी ट्रांजैक्शन ब्लॉकचेन में एंटर करता है, इट इज बीइंग ब्रॉडकास्टेड टू ईच एंड एवरी मेंबर प्रेजेंट देयर. तो हर मेंबर के पास ये मैसेज जाता है, पॉप जाता है कि अ न्यू ब्लॉक इज ट्राइंग टू एंटर द ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी. सो अब सेकंड पॉइंट पे प्लीज ध्यान देना, इट इज क्वाइट इंपॉर्टेंट. मैंने आपको बताया था कि जो भी ट्रांजैक्शन को वेरीफाई करता है, whosoever verifies the transaction gets some reward, but there are so many people, so for getting this reward this kind of a race, and who gets to write first will be rewarded, right? So how do I win this race? There's a mathematical calculation behind this. With every block, every person in the blockchain technology is in a rush to solve this mathematical calculation, and the person who cracks this calculation first gets the privilege and right to add this transaction into the blockchain, right? So once supposedly me, I did the first, I was the first in solving the mathematical calculation. So I'll be telling each and every person in the block, hey, I have solved this mathematical calculation, and it's also been broadcasted to each and everyone for validation. And once it is validated, I enter the transaction into the blockchain, and I, as a reward, which happens to be the third point, confirmation, I get the currency and the transaction gets confirmed, right? So there's sending, and then there's a verification. Whoever wins the race for verification has the right to enter new block into the transaction, and then the transaction gets confirmed. So this was a small and brief how a transaction gets into a blockchain technology, and I assume that we are talking about the Bitcoin blockchain technology. So this was how a transaction gets entered into blockchain technology. And the most important thing, we have, I am assuming that the concept for blockchain, which I have taught you in brief only, not in detail, was almost clear to all of you. So I've vested required time in it, and now we can move to central bank's digital currency, right? Now introduction to central bank digital currency. What CBDC is, I was supposed to ask first before all of you, but now it is displayed, so let's read about it. CBDC is a legal tender issued in a digital form. It is same as a fiat currency, but the form is different. So government has already told us the CBDC will be at par with the fiat currency, but the only change will be that it will be in the virtual format. So you may ask, I already have my money in virtual form in my bank account. Then what good is CBDC doing to me? So hold on, we'll be discussing about that as well, but let's go step by step. So as we all know that CBDC will be a legal tender, okay, and it will be at par with fiat currency, but the form will be virtual, right? Like other cryptocurrencies. And the important point is its intrinsic value will be backed by government. So like other cryptocurrencies which do not have any underlying asset, the CBDC will be backed by sovereign central government. Why so? Because to avoid or to slash the fluctuation which happens, like in your currency, the currency which you have is prone to is उस पे कोई फ्लक्चुएशन नहीं आता. क्यों? क्योंकि वो सोवरेन बैक्ड है. तो सिमिलरली CBDC को फ्लक्चुएशन प्रूफ बनाने के लिए it has been backed by government. So we have that assurity that CBDC, the currency, the digital rupee which will be issued to us will not be prone to fluctuations. It will be rather used for transaction purposes like fiat currency is being used. So I think I'm clear till now. Some of the features with our honorable finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji quoted, there were some features about the system. They told us that it will be an efficient system. Why efficient system? Because there will be no middlemen associated in this. There will be elimination of intermediaries. So this will be a very efficient system. And the second point being cheap currency management system. So it will be very cheap currency management system. Why so? Why the currency will be cheap? Because today we are investing so much in printing monies and printing money. So there will be no need for printing money because it's a virtual money, and it will be sent directly to your wallet if it happens to be in that mode, right? It's quite sure that there will be so little bit of investment in beginning for setting up the technology for annual maintenance, but considering the cost involved with the fiat currency, that is hard cash, it will be much more cheaper. Okay, so it will be a big boost to digital economy, and I agree that it will be a big boost because there are so many individuals who do not have bank accounts as of now. So we can send them digital rupee just by having their access to smartphones. If the person is having an access to a smartphone, then the digital currency can be sent to their wallets, into their digital wallets, which happens to be in their mobile phones. So this will be a big boost to digital economy, right? So this is how it has been introduced, and it has not been rolled out. So there are certain things and clarifications which are still awaited. So this is what we can see from here, the benefits which the central bank digital currency might reap. Okay. There are some critical questions which need to be answered now. So I'll be betting on you guys that you will be answering it with me. So, okay. First question, does digital rupee works on a blockchain technology? So, okay, so I'm supposing some of you might be willing to answer. So waiting for your participation. Does digital rupee happens to be on blockchain technology? No. Received one answer from Yogesh. No, because this is still uncontrollable. Very good interpretation, MSG, I must say, because you are thinking that it will not be controlled. So, but the answer is yes, this will be on the blockchain technology. Please don't get offended. I'll try to explain. Your answer. The answer to your question might lie in the second question which I'm asking. Is the network decentralized? Okay, let's look at the answer. No, like other cryptocurrencies, digital rupee won't be decentralized because, like very well quoted by Himesh, that if it is a decentralized environment, then again government the power of government will be taken. So it will be on blockchain technology, but it will be in a decentralized manner. So what it means? What is the use of blockchain technology then? If it happens not to be in a decentralized manner, only known and identified parties can participate in the network. So it will not be a public network, but it will be a private or permissible network, which underlying technology being blockchain technology. Permissible network means only members can participate, like RBI and other partners bank and financial institute will be the members or participants or node of this blockchain technology. Okay. Transaction will not be anonymous. This is the second differentiation with other cryptocurrencies. Transaction will not be anonymous. Like, let me first clear it out to you. With other cryptocurrencies, as I have already told you that everyone has the access to the ledger, right? So this is not a secure thing, because I'll be knowing what amount you own and you will be knowing what amount I know. So there is a hindrance to privacy. So cryptocurrency has been designed in such a manner that it's pseudo-anonymous. Pseudo-anonymous means it's partially anonymous. मुझे सिर्फ क्या दिखेगा? मुझे ये दिखेगा कि इस पर्टिकुलर एड्रेस से इस पर्टिकुलर एड्रेस पे अमाउंट ट्रांसफर हो रहा है और कितना अमाउंट ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, बट आई वोंट बी हैविंग एन एक्सेस टू द पर्सन हु ओन्स दैट एड्रेस. सो मुझे सिर्फ इतना पता होगा कि एक ट्रांजैक्शन एंटर हो रहा है, पर मुझे ये नहीं पता होगा कि किन दोनों के बीच में हो रहा है. दो आई विल बी हैविंग अ लेजर, बट लेजर्स हेडिंग विल बी द एड्रेस एंड आई वोंट बी नोइंग द ओनर ऑफ दैट एड्रेस. सो द सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न हैज आल्सो बीन इशूड इन it has been considered with bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies. But what here the digital rupee is saying is कि transactions will not be anonymous. You have to disclose your identities. So this is the other differentiation with cryptocurrencies, other cryptocurrencies, that आपको अपनी transaction करते समय अपनी identity बतानी पड़ेगी, right? So that government has the control and access of your ledgers, so that it can be maintained in such a manner that who owns what. Question: how is CBDC different from other cryptocurrencies? This has already been answered in our previous conversation. So I request all of you to please participate and tell me how is CBDC different from other cryptocurrencies. This has been answered. This has been discussed. So I am betting on you that you guys will be knowing what is the answer. Anyone interested in answering? How is it different? Not completely anonymous, right? This is one of the thing that it makes it different from other cryptocurrencies. So let's look at the answer. Digital rupee will be different from cryptocurrencies as it will be sovereign backed. Like other cryptocurrencies which do not have any underlying asset or promise, this will be sovereign backed. Therefore, will have an intrinsic value. Why it will be having an intrinsic value? On account of government backing. Whereas other cryptocurrencies do not have any underlying asset or intrinsic value. Next question being, how a transaction via digital rupee be different from other online transactions? So this is a most common and important question which should stick in your mind that okay ठीक है, मैं तो ये देख रहा हूँ कि मेरा मनी ऑलरेडी डिजिटाइज है, तो सीबीडीसी में क्यों अडॉप्ट करूं? ऐसा क्या मुझे मिल जाएगा कि मैं सीबीडीसी अडॉप्ट कर सकता हूं? सो लेट्स लुक इनटू इट कि मैं उसको क्यों अडॉप्ट करूंगा. फर्स्ट थिंग भी कि वो इंटरमीडिएरीज को रिमूव कर देगा. लेट्स सी. Even though the transaction is mainly a debit and credit between two banks, there are many intermediaries that facilitate these transactions, such as card network, payment service providers, point of sale machines, etc. There are so many intermediaries. Okay, like in card network, I have already told you, like Visa and Mastercards are getting into the role, and payment service providers like UPI and everyone is also the intermediary. Point of sale machines, जैसे हम मर्चेंट्स पे जाते हैं ना, एक मशीन में डेबिट कार्ड इंसर्ट करते हैं, तो पॉइंट ऑफ सेल मशीन, पाइन लैब्स इज एन इंटरमीडियरी देयर. So there are so many intermediaries involved, resulting in increase in transaction cost and processing time. On the contrary, blockchain technology focuses on removal of intermediary, resulting in lower settlement time and cost with negligible failure rate because there are no intermediaries involved. तो कहीं पे ट्रेडिशनल करेंसी में कहीं किसी भी लेयर पे फॉल्ट होता है तो ट्रांजैक्शन इज प्रोन टू फेलियर, बट इन CBDC it won't happen because there are no this is proposed that there won't be any intermediaries involved. And now the other important question, what is the impact of CBDC on Indian economy? I hope you all have understood what actually this CBDC means now. So before going into the impact on Indian economy, I assume that every one of you have a fair idea what digital rupee is proposed to be, right? So its impact will actually be visible, as I've already told you, when it's actually rolled out, when it's on the ground. But from here, what we see is there are some probable impacts which we can see. It depends on the model which is proposed for the rollout of digital rupee. The first model proposed might be like as its name suggests, central bank's digital currency. So why not eliminate the intermediaries, that is financial institutions, and directly we hold an account with Reserve Bank or a wallet with Reserve Bank, and it transfers money directly to our account and to our individuals and businesses account. So there is no intermediary involved, right? This is a single layer system which probably might or might not come. So this is what we are seeing now because there is so much of clarity and awaited from the regulators, right? So this looks simple, but there are some grave consequences attached to it. So let's look at them. What are the consequences if this model is adopted? Will individuals be allowed to open account directly with RBI? So I have few questions which I assume that you will be paying attention because then you'll be having an idea why this model from like direct model from RBI to individuals and businesses will have consequences on economy. First question, why will I open account anymore with banks? अगर मेरे पास डायरेक्ट एक्सेस है आरबीआई के साथ, वो वॉलेट मॉडल है, अकाउंट मॉडल है, जो भी है, तो अगर ये एक्सेस मेरे पास है तो why will I look at banks anymore, right? So I won't be looking for that. Data privacy issue भी आएगा इसके साथ. Data privacy issue कैसे आएगा? And concerns over the state monitoring transactions of its citizen. I'll be having a fear that my each and every transaction is being monitored by RBI because I am holding a direct account with RBI, so RBI will be holding my ledger. So I'll be having a data concerns, right? Will this not? unsettle the deposit takings of commercial bank and retailers moving directly to account with RBI for deposits. तो ये सबसे मेरे ख्याल से dangerous point है. Banks have been seen as a credit creators in the economy, right? We also saw it in COVID times, because Indian economy at that time was theoretically went into recession. So what commercial bank did, they started creating the circulation of money. They tried to put money in your pocket via cheapening the loans and everything, so that the purchasing power of every individual increases, so that economy gets back into the track. So banks are playing a role for creating credit and creating a flow of credit into the economy. But because the credit gets enabled because we deposit the bank into the money, and bank takes that money and enables the credit into the economy. But if we are not depositing money with banks anymore, then how will that happen? So this has to be viewed. Banks will have to rely heavily on their own capital, because we are not depositing money with bank, right? We are not depositing money anymore with bank. So banks will only have to rely on their own capital for lending and creation of credit, so which cannot be suffice for regulation of economy at macro level. So this will have a grave consequences if this model is proposed. So there's an important note. What might seems like the introduction of new service by the central bank may well disrupt the deposit and settlement system and the role of commercial bank. So yes, this model has the potential to disrupt the banking channel. So I and you might welcome the other model which can be proposed. So let's look into the other models which can be proposed. So this is the current model, which current currency is being floated. RBI gives money to banks or financial institution. This is called the wholesale transaction. So RBI gives money to bank, and on the other side, banks create the circulation of money with individuals. So we are assuming and we are betting on this model only because this is more important, and it will also promote economy and back the economy. So what I am thinking and I am assuming is कि इस model के साथ आगे बढ़ा जाएगा. This will be a 2 layers model. So let's see. It's highly uncertain that the central bank would want to risk the entire banking system, because a strong banking system is crucial for the financial health of the economy, and the central bank's banking system is not designed to deal with millions of retail customers. Obviously, the RBI's system or technology which it is adopting is not designed in such a fashion that it can deal with thousands of retail customers, right? So it's not possible. Not even 1,000 crores of retail customers. The system is not designed in such a fashion, right? So it will have to altogether change the technology and adapt to the new technology, which is not desirable, right? So this is not desirable. So the approach is most likely that RBI issues a CBDC to the bank via wholesale channel, and then it will issue it to the retail customers. So this would allow the authorities the room to experiment with the new financial tool without disrupting the entire banking model. So you can see that if entire banking model gets disrupted, it will have grave consequences in Indian economy. So we are betting on this model, or might be some other third model, like US has proposed a stable coin model. Like they floated stable coins into the economy which are backed by US currency. So stable coins are programmed in such a manner that they are backed by dollars. So it mimics the dollar. That's why it's stable and there's no fluctuation, and the economy is also stable. So this might be the third thing which can be proposed. But let's see what happens, because there is more clarity awaited from regulators and government, right? So there's things awaited. Okay, so this is the slide for countries leading the race of CBDC. So either these countries have already rolled out their digital currency, because digital currency is not confined to a nation. Why so? Because the central authority in every country can roll out their own digital currency. So there are many countries who have already rolled out, and there are some countries who are running on a pilot mode. So they are ahead of Indian economy in terms of rolling out the digital currency. But okay, not an issue, because 22-23 has been proposed for rolling out the digital currency. But let's see what happens. So these are some of the countries: Sweden, Nigeria, China, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. these countries have already tried to roll out their digital currencies to see the impact. So we can say that they are the early movers in this digital era. So this was for knowledge purpose, not much education required in this slide. Moving ahead. And now the important point, proposed income tax implications on cryptocurrency. So you all are professionals and know it better than me what will be the income tax implication in cryptocurrency. So I assume that this topic will have a two-way conversation between us. If I am wrong, you can correct me, and if you are wrong, I am here to correct you. So this will be a two-way communication. In her budget speech, the finance minister made taxability of crypto clear. What did she say? There'll be a 30% tax on the income arising from transfer of virtual asset, and 1% of tax deduction at source is also proposed above certain threshold. We'll discuss the threshold, but again, we'll be going step by step. So on the broader view, there is a 30% taxation with 1% TDS deduction liability. Second important point, no deduction in respect of any expenditure will be allowed while computing such income except the cost of acquisition. So if I'm transferring any of my cryptocurrencies, so only the cost of acquisition will be allowed as a deduction, and the remaining amount will be taxed at the rate of 30%. They won't be allowed any deduction or any expenditure. Okay, only the exception be cost of acquisition. Loss from the transfer of virtual digital asset cannot be set off against any other income. So this gives us a sense that government is treating the transactions and dealing in cryptocurrencies like betting and gambling. They are taxing it at 30%, and losses from the transfer of virtual digital currency cannot be set off against any other income. So they are not allowing set off against any other income arising from this transactions in crypto. A gift in the virtual digital asset is also proposed to be taxed in the hands of recipient. So if I gift you digital currency, let's say Bitcoin or Ethereum, it will be taxed in your hands as well. So gift will be also be taxable. Some must know for crypto taxation. So this will be a two-way interaction slide. So I assume that you will be participating. How will the crypto asset be classified? So to tax anything, there has to be a head, right? So will it be the profit and gain from business profession, or it will be taxed under capital gain or income from other sources? What is the proposed header? So can I expect from you to answer? Himeji is saying capital gain. Okay, so Himeji, you have been a spoiler in this presentation, and that's a good news as well because you have been paying attention. Don't be sorry. Okay, so any other person who wants to participate and tell the head against which this will be taxable? Okay, let's see. The government has not clarified if digital asset will be currency, commodity, or security. It's still an issue. In the absence of any such clarification, the virtual digital currency should be classified as a capital asset. So it will be a capital asset and liable to tax under capital gain. Therefore, crypto assets should be deemed as a capital asset if purchased for investments. Therefore, any gain arising from transfer of such asset should be taxable as capital gain. Okay, so this will be taxable as capital gain. The next thing which pops in my mind, how TDS on transfer of crypto asset will work. So can you please answer the TDS which is proposed at the rate of 1%? How will that work? TDS implications on cryptocurrency. Okay, so let's see. A new section 194S has been inserted in the Income Tax Act for deduction of tax from the payment of consideration for the transfer of digital asset, right? Tax is required to be deducted at the rate of 1% of the consideration. If the deductee does not furnish the PAN to the deductor, the tax should be deducted at the rate of 20%. So we all are very much familiar with these kind of provisions. What are the expectations under the TDS rules for crypto? expectations. So I have already told you that there are some thresholds, and we'll be discussing here, and here is an answer to it. So the limit is, if you are an individual or HUF who are not subjected to tax audit, the limit for your aggregate value of transaction for the financial year will be 50,000 rupees. So below 50,000, you won't be liable to deduct TDS if you are a specified person. Okay. And for the rest of the audience, the threshold limit is 10,000. Okay. So above 10,000 during the financial year, TDS liability will arise. So in the next step, we might see that the government tries to regulate the exchanges like Vault or 𝐈𝐧𝐿 and every person to deduct the TDS liability. And if we at individual level are also transacting with Bitcoin and other NFTs, and so we are also liable to deduct TDS. That's why they have covered each and everything. Okay, so this is how TDS is proposed to be functioning. So is the TDS applicable if assets are moved to personal wallet? Supposedly, I have two wallets with cryptocurrency, and I am transferring my cryptocurrency from one wallet to another. So will that also attract the requirement of deduction of TDS? Any answers? Pallavi Agarwalji saying yes. Okay. So any other person? No, there is no transfer as such. Okay. Emaji is saying there is no transfer as such. Pallavi is saying yes. So there is a 50-50 ratio. Any tiebreaker? Any other person? Okay. So let's see. There is no TDS because there has to be some consideration for deduction of TDS, right? So there is no TDS if I transfer from my one wallet to another wallet. Let's read it through. There should not be any TDS on transfer of asset to the personal wallet from a crypto exchange or between personal wallets, as normally TDS is applicable only when the investor receives any consideration in exchange of any of these transfers. So there is no consideration involved. That's why no TDS liability is proposed to be arising. Okay. I think this is clear to all of you. Pallaviji, okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the participation. We appreciate that. What are the rules for gifting to relatives and non-relatives? So this is also a question which I'm expecting an answer from you. This has already been discussed and has been hinted. So what are the rules for gifting to relatives and non-relatives? So any participations, please? Please participate, because it gives me time to rejoice and drink a sip of water. So thankful for that as well. So okay, moving ahead. Gifting of digital asset will be taxed in the hands of recipient. I have an answer from Deepti Arora. Transfer of relatives should not attract TDS. Okay, very right. If I'm transferring to relatives, it should not attract TDS. Let's get into it. Gifting of digital asset will be taxable in the hands of recipient if the value of asset exceeds 50,000. Rules of income from other sources. However, in case these are received from relatives as defined under the Income Tax Act, we need to look at the definition of Income Tax Act, how it defines relatives. Okay, but the guidance is still awaited on the valuation front. What is valuation front? How do we determine if the gift I have given exceeds the valuation of 50,000 or not? So that is still awaited from regulators, right, and authority. So the concept is clear, but the valuation front is still pending at their end. So we know how it's dealing. So okay, we have all understood the taxation front. And my last question for tonight for all of you, the big question. So does that mean that cryptocurrency is legal? Right? So any answers? So all of the conversation which we have been talking and the taxation which has came. So all this concludes that, is it legal and taxable now? Legal now? Okay, I have one answer which says yes, it's legal. Yes, Emaji is saying yes, and Deepti still not legal but taxable. Deepti ji is saying still not legal but it's taxable. Any other participation? Again, we have 50-50 ratio. Any more participation, please? It's your area. About the legality and taxation of a currency. It's your area. I assume more of a participation at your answer. Okay, moving ahead. Legality of cryptocurrency in India. Okay. Here's a statement from Finance Secretary TV Somanathan. Let's look what he says. Any digital currency other than digital rupee is not, will never become a legal tender. What he says is any digital currency other than digital rupee will never be recognized as legal tender. Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any purchase of actor becoming NFT will never become a legal tender. So what he's saying is digital currency as a tender will never be recognized as legal currency. So we are clear on this front, right? We are clear that crypto as a currency, for as a medium of exchange, as a legal tender will never be recognized in India. This is what the government's stance is till now. Okay, I have received one question from Ganeshji, who is saying like the valuation of Bitcoin is increasing and decreasing. Would the valuation of digital rupee vary? So he has come with very interesting question. He is asking that the valuation of Bitcoin continuously increases and decreases. It has reached as high as 50 lakh and now it is trading somewhere around 30 lakhs. So does that mean same for digital rupee as well? Will it be fluctuating? So the answer for this is no, it won't be fluctuating because it is backed by sovereign and it's not functioning on the basis of demand and supply like other cryptocurrencies. So there's no scope for any speculation or investing in it as an asset class. So it won't be an asset class. It will be used for transaction purposes. That's why it has to be in such a fashion that it has to be stable, right? So that people can gain trust in it. So obviously your 100 rupee digital rupee will remain 100 rupee only throughout. Okay. So, okay, let's not deviate and continue. Image is asking, but is it considered legal as an asset class? So yes, we are going to discuss about that only. So let's go ahead. Above statement makes it quite clear that cryptocurrency will never make it to become the legal tender in India. Now the doubt only revolves around the legality of crypto as an asset class, status of which is still under consultation with regulators. So government has made it clear on one front that legal currency, it won't be ever be recognized, but they're telling us, okay, give us some time. We are still discussing whether it will ever become a legal currency or a legal tender as an asset class or not. It will be recognized by us as an asset class or not. So the views from government are still awaited. So we are into this position, right? Much more clarification needed from government front. So is it legal to tax illegal income? Some of you might be thinking like government has not recognized cryptocurrency as a legal asset as well. Okay, so they have told that cryptocurrency is still not an asset class. So some of you might be thinking, is it legal to tax illegal income? So this is what Finance Secretary has to say about this. The things which are not legal don't mean that they are illegal. I'm not saying that Bitcoin or Ethereum is legal, but that is not illegal, but that is not legal too, right? So you're getting. Okay, so what is this? What Finance Secretary has to say? That we have not recognized this asset class as legal, but we are not telling that this is illegal as well. Still, we are consulting about this, and clarification is still waited at our front. Okay. Okay, so next question for you guys: does government has the authority to tax the income when the legitimacy of the source of income is still not clear? So government has proposed that it will be taxed, but whether the income arising from the cryptocurrencies will be crypto assets is legal or illegal, that is not being clear till now. So my question to all of you is, can it still be taxed? How are they taxing if there is no clarification whether it is legal or illegal? There is no clarification as of now from government, but they are clearing that it will be taxed at the rate of 30%. So how have they come with this conclusion? Do the authority have this right to tax? Okay, Some participation, please. Does the government has the authority to tax the income? The legitimacy of the source of income is not clear. Okay, I have received one answer, yes. Another answer, if income is arising in India, the government can tax it. So I have received two answers. Any other who will want to participate? Okay, moving ahead. Okay, I have received same view, government can tax it. Pallavi ji is saying that she's of the same view that government can tax it. Okay, so this is the answer. On the principle of law, the law gives the government the right to tax the income from business, be it legal or illegal. Supreme Court has upheld this principle, so have some high courts. High courts and Supreme Court has upheld this view that be the income legal or illegal, the authorities have the right to tax it. So the legitimacy of cryptocurrency to be resolved after consultation with the regulators is a different matter and has no bearing on the taxation. So they are saying that taxation is a different matter and the legality of it is a different matter. So we are taxing it as of now, but we'll get back to you and tell you whether it is legal or not legal. So it's kind of एक तरफ खाई और एक तरफ कुआं, क्योंकि एक तरफ से टैक्स लगा दिया और ऊपर से ये भी नहीं बताया कि वो लीगल है कि नहीं हमारे हाथ में. But there is some hint from the government that they cannot ban it altogether. But अभी के लिए तो it's quite threatening for us who are investing in cryptocurrencies. Okay, so this was one of my last question, and I just want to tell all of you that all these things and confusions revolving around cryptocurrency are yet to be cleared. But there is one good quote from the governor of England, who says that who are we to decide what are the flaws in system or structural flaws in the system or not, because the system will actually score it out eventually. So let the system decide what are the flaws in it, and they will be scored out eventually. So what he says, this is a very nice quote. There will be a change measured over decades. It is very hard to predict. That which is unsustainable tend to go on for longer than you think, and then happens more quickly than you expect. But the structural flaw in the end, the system will result in change. अगर कोई भी flaws हैं system में, तो at the end it will happen to change. Might it take a long time? So this is what has been said by Mark Rennie. So very nicely quoted, and I'm thankful to him. So thank you so much for your kind participation, and these are my credentials, and you can get into touch if there are any of the doubts at your end. You can clear it as of now also, and if you are thinking of the presentation some else time, or you're sleeping and you get some of the thoughts about how about this and what will happen, then you can get into touch with me at any time. I am open for your discussion. So thank you so much once again. Thank you so much for the participation. Tanya, are you here?
I was on mute, right. So thank you, Rohit, for the wonderful deliberation. As I could see, people were interacting throughout, and even Pallavi ji is saying excellent session, sir. Thank you. I would like to thank each and every participant for being there, because of you all we are here, right? अगर आप लोग नहीं हो तो इन सेशंस का, इन सब चीजों का कोई मतलब नहीं है. Your zeal, your enthusiasm of learning every day in depth makes us bring these sessions and insightful sessions for all of you. So please keep providing. At the end, whenever you close this session, you will get a feedback. Please do fill it, because when you will tell us what you want to learn, only then we can work upon then and bring many more such insightful sessions for you all. So if you have any queries as of for now,
you can ask me any of the queries if you have.
The advantage of attending a live webinar, right? Yeah. So record. Rohit, continue.
Okay, so I'll take a moment to thanks everyone who is appreciating the session. So thank you so much, Sharad ji, Prateek ji, Deepti ji, you have been very participative. 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐩 ji, thank you so much for your participation, and Deepti ji, thank you so much for your kind participation, because I'm the thing if you are not present, right? So you are my underlying asset. So thank you so much. Abhishek ji is also saying thank you. Big hats off to all of you for being such a patient listeners and being participative. Considering you all as my underlying asset, I don't have any value if you are not with me. So thank you so much, Tanya ji.
Rightly mentioned. So if you have any questions as of for now, you can ask, because this is the advantage of attending a live webinar, because there you can ask questions and get your queries resolved. Because recording may this feature is not available. You can contact obviously to the faculties, but then it depends upon them when they would have been time to give you the answer back. So I guess there are no any such questions. Rohit have taken most of the questions throughout the sessions. Okay, so considering that, we'll be ending this session now, and see you tomorrow same time 5 p.m. with our second session of our 3-day series on unfolding the future of CA practice. And please take good care of yourself and your loved ones, and have a great evening. With this, we are signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you.